Hello YouTubers and welcome to Ralkane Games. I am Ralkane. Today I'd like to talk to you about character creation in Life is Feudal MMO. There are two things to take into consideration when creating your character. One of which is what professions you want to do and what type of combat you want to do. The rest of your decisions will be based off what you decide to do in both combat and crafting. Let's start off with your character name. You can have multiple characters with the same last name, but the first name has to be unique and can't be used by another player. Now let's talk about gender selection. Unfortunately, male characters don't have any benefit in this category, but the female characters are smaller and have an associated hitbox. If you plan on doing a lot of combat, a female character would benefit you as they'd be harder to hit in melee combat. Knowing that last bit of information about gender selection, most of you have probably rolled a female character. Now let's move on to the different races. There are three different races. You've got the Gottlungs, the Slavards, and the Khoors. Each of the races have their own unique benefits with starting stats. For instance, the Gottlungs. They start off with a base Artisan of 20. They have 0 construction, nature's lore is at 15, and farming at 0, and hunting at 0. And for their combat abilities, they start off with Cavalry 30, Militia 0, Footman 0, Slinger 0, and Assaulter at 0. And for their attributes, they start off with 12 Strength, 12 Agility, 12 Constitution, 12 Willpower, and 12 Intellect. And next is the Slavards. They start off with 0 Artisan, 0 Construction, 20 Nature's Lore, 0 Farming, and 10 Hunting. And for combat, they start off with 0 Cavalry, 0 Militia, 30 Footman, 0 Slinger, and 0 Assaulter. And for their attributes, they start off with 15 Strength, 10 Agility, 15 Constitution, 10 Willpower, and 10 Intellect. And last but not least, we have the Khoors. They start off with 5 Artisan, 0 Construction, 10 Nature's Lore, 0 Farming, and 20 Hunting. And for combat skills, they start with Cavalry 0, Militia 0, Footman 0, Slinger 30, and Assaulter 0. And for their attributes, they start with 10 Strength, 15 Agility, 10 Constitution, 15 Willpower, and 10 Intellect. Now those are the minimum stats for each of the race. You will get a few points to allocate in each of the different areas and adjust what you feel is necessary and what direction you want to head your character. Another thing to consider is if you plan on going archery, you have to level up Slinger, and in this current version of the game, Slinger is a very, very grindy thing to level up to be able to unlock archery. So picking a race, such as the Slavards, and using your modifier points all into Slinger will help you avoid this horrible grind. You will still have to gain 5 levels on your own to unlock archery, but it is much better than leveling 60 all on its own. Now on to the stats. Let's start with strength. The more points you have in strength, the less stamina it will cost to attack with a weapon. That does not affect how much damage you deal when you have higher strength, only the stamina cost per attack. Then we have agility. The more you level agility, the more movement speed you'll get, and it also has benefits for ranged damage and attack frequency. Now for constitution. As you level up your constitution, it'll increase your soft hit points and hard hit points, making you harder to kill in combat. Now on to willpower. As you level up your willpower, you will increase in your soft stamina and your hard stamina, and it'll also increase your carrying capacity. And that is a large benefit for players that primarily just craft and don't really focus on any combat or PvP, as it allows you to hold more in your inventory and complete more crafting actions and allows you to auto-craft longer periods of time. And now we have Intellect, which allows you to increase your total skill cap, allowing you to do more professions and train more things and be a little bit more diverse of a character. Now on to combat. Now, I don't have that much time to get into the nitty-gritty with all the different stats under combat, but one of the key things to be aware of is if you do plan on going ranged, you'd want to maximize your Slinger, as in my opinion that's one of the worst combat skills to grind. Now to go ahead and finish the character and go ahead and spawn on Newbie Island. Now that you've arrived on Newbie Island, there's two things you can do. One is you can rush towards the main continent of Abella, or you can stay on Newbie Island and grind up some of your skills and participate with some of the NPC missions in the area. So when you decide you're ready to head to Abella, the main continent, you're going to want to head to the tower with the beacon coming out into the sky. When you arrive in the center of the tower, there will be a ferryman in the center. Before you interact with him, you're going to want to open up your shop by pressing escape, then selecting shop, then you'll select your inventory, and it should have a ticket to Abella in there. You're going to click the option below that says transfer to character. Once that is complete, you can now interact with the ferryman and select the option to travel to Abella. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe for notifications of future videos. As always, forget work and play games.